Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Depending upon what we think ourselves to be, we look at the world. When I am unmarried, never married, could not get married, whichever option you like, and you are all married. So if we have to define this world consisting of two types of people, those who are married and those who are happy. See, we divided the world. When we think ourselves to be very intelligent, then we divide this world into wise and otherwise. And everybody has got this illusion that he is the wise. Ask others, they say no, he is otherwise. So let us find out exactly what we are. In fact, we are neither absolutely wise nor absolutely otherwise. If we are absolutely wise, we will never be miserable. If we are absolutely otherwise, we will never be miserable. But we are. The reason is we are an admixture of the wise and the otherwise. So who is the wise person? Bhagavad Gita tells us, Gatasuna gatasunscha nanu shochanti panditaha. This is one definition of a wise man. I will explain step by step. The second definition of wise man is Sankhya yogo pruthak bala pravadantina panditaha. Second definition. The third definition is panditaha samadarshinaha. There are three definitions of wise person given. The first is Gatasuna gatasuscha nanu shochanti panditaha is the one who is never miserable because somebody dies or because somebody doesn't die. Otherwise, people are miserable on both accounts. When somebody dies, they are miserable. Oh God, why he has to die? And this fellow doesn't die also. So, ignorant people are miserable because somebody dies as well as somebody doesn't die. See? So what is the bottom line? Wise is the one who is never miserable and otherwise is the one who is never happy. First definition. The second definition is Na pravadanti panditaha. Wise people never entangle in any argument and reason and logic. No discussions. See, many times, people ask us questions. It is not their fault because we are questionable. And they are doubtfuls. So they ask questions. So when they ask question, the first, condition I put, no discussions, no argument. Then I will talk to you. If you are here to discuss and argue, I accept, I give my resignation, I am defeated. There is no wisdom to talk to a fool. It is a folly to be wise among the fools, is it not? Therefore, wise man never entangles in any argument and logic. And the third and the most important definition is Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Jaiva Shvapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. A wise person is the one whose vision is focus to see the common denominator in spite of the differences. A common factor is discovered. See? What will be the vision of the wise and the otherwise people? An ignorant person will be always talking about the differences, promoting the differences, discussing the differences, and ultimately getting disintegrated on account of the differences. Ignorant person. Otherwise person. And a wise person, he will see the differences, but he will not differentiate on account of the differences, because his focal length is on the common denominator. See? Now, like we are sitting over here. So many places I move around the world. So people ask, Swamiji, when you are in India, what language you talk? I said, I talk either in English or in Hindi. What kind of people come? Nice people come. When you go to USA, what kind of people come? Mostly Indian. I said, yes, mostly Indian. When you go to Europe, what kind of people come? See, attention is only on the differences. We don't say all the seekers of truth come. It doesn't matter where from they have come. They are all seeking the truth. See, therefore, the wise and otherwise that we are is a condition of admixture understanding of life. And this happens when we are in a state of Arjuna on the battlefield. I'll give in short the whole background, how this particular situation has come. A wise person is able to get a message from every experience, and thereby he learns from every experience, and that is why with every experience he or she grows wise. The process of wisdom is a very slow and steady process, like the growth of an oak tree. The other day we went with Annette for a nice walk on the top of the world, and could you guess what we found there? Mushrooms. So I had found that on the top of the world, what is there? Only mushrooms. And why the mushrooms grow? Because there is nobody to disturb them. And how much time they take? They take no time. Last night we were there was nothing. Next day morning you go, they stand out. And on those mushrooms, even a small child steps, it is completely destroyed. Because the growth is very fast, overnight. But if you take an oak tree, it takes years and years to grow. But it is so strong, it can take even an elephant on it will not bend. In the same manner, wisdom grows slow and steady. It is not an accident that the people are wise. See? Therefore, what is the technique? The technique is we learn from every experience of our life. So with every additional experience, we grow wise. And as we are growing wise, take the first three symptoms of wisdom: no misery, equanimity, no argument and no discussion. Net result is you are at peace with yourself, and a person who is at peace with himself is at peace with the whole world. How simple it is. So this Arjun, it so happened that they have to engage themselves in a war which is not with outsiders. Now one by one we'll try to learn. To fight with enemies is very easy. To fight with someone who is our own and yet behaving like an enemy, it is very difficult. See? One example I'll give you to make this point. There was a friend of mine. I went to their house for food, breakfast. Normally, I visit the people's house only for food. This is for your information. So, when I visited their house for food, a typical Indian scenario, husband, wife and a son, and I was there. So in India, Swamis are used by the husbands to communicate to the wife and by the wife to tell the husband. They are the messengers, You have got Yahoo messenger, Swami messenger. So the wife told, Swamiji, you please tell him something. Him means third person singular. They don't call them by name. They call them names. So, you tell him something. I said, what should I tell? I'll tell it. He has spoiled our son. I said, hey man, why did you spoil your son? He said, Swamiji, let us finish food and then I'll talk to you. I said, very good. Because that was my main purpose, I am not interested whether you fight or you don't fight. After we finished the food, then he said, please come. He took me to his bedroom. And he said, I trust you. He opened one big store well. It was packed with 100 rupees notes, cash. Must have been lakhs and millions. He said, have you seen? I said, yes. Should I take a few of them? He said, no, that is not the thing. The idea is, my son knows this. He comes in the morning and tells, Dad, 5,000. If I say, why do you need so much of money? He said, you gave me last time, the phone number of the income tax officer. I forgot about it. Can you please give me again? So he is blackmailing me. When my own son is blackmailing me, with whom will I fight? Then he asked a question. I have got only two options. One option is give money to the son and protect my wealth. And second option is let he do whatever he likes, protect my wealth. One of the two. I should either protect the son or the wealth. I have chosen to protect the wealth. Because son anyway is already gone. See friends, if in place of his own son, if it is enemy, he can be taken care of. Now to that son, neither he can kill him, nor he can help him. This is exactly the condition of every one of us. Fighting with the enemy is very easy. Fighting with your own nears and dears is very difficult. This is what has happened with Arjun. On the battlefield, when he came with an arrogance to fight the war, to take revenge on his own cousins, and there he tells the Lord with an arrogant order of a boss. Senayor ubayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechuta. Take my chariot between the two armies, let me see who are those guys who dare fight with me. Friends, perpetual success is difficult to digest. One may be able to digest the failures at times. But when the success is perpetually mounting, then it becomes intoxication and one loses the sense of proportion. This is exactly has happened to Arjun. And that time, Bhagwan Krishna played a trick. Because he was the charioteer. He was the one who was driving the chariot, let us put this way. And Arjuna was sitting. See, it is said, in our life we should never displease the driver and the cook. Because our life is in their hands. That is why whenever I sit in anybody's car and we start the car, I always chant the following mantra. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, गंगा मैया की जय, यमुना महारानी की जय, आज के आनंद की जय, हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव. and while you are coming, and it brought me. Anet Maharani ki jai, jai, jai. Swamiji, why you have to chant my glory? For my safety. See? So Bhagavan Krishna was the driver of the chariot and Arjuna was sitting. So he has to listen to the orders. But he being the Lord and a naughty Lord, that is what I like Bhagavan Krishna. I don't like any other God. They are all unnecessarily serious. See, you take Rama, all the time, the gun. In those days, the gun means the bow and arrow. Why are you afraid of the world? Have a flute and play. See? So, Bhagavan said, okay, you want to know who are the enemies you have to fight with? You have to fight with your own nears and dears. When this is told, suddenly Arjuna realizes, hey, what is this? I was here to kill the people. But now what is happening? Now here there is a small trick what Bhagavan Krishna plays. Just imagine, if you have to stand in front of some terrorist with a gun in your hand, and the terrorist is without anything in his hand, will you ever think whether you should kill him or not kill? There is no even option that is coming in our mind. He has already killed so many. So kill him. In place of that, if someone who is in front of you is not a terrorist, but is a national leader, now you don't know whether to kill him or not to kill. There is doubt in his mind, our mind. Exactly this is what Bhagavan Krishna did. If he had taken the chariot of Arjuna in front of Dushasana, Duryodhana, who were his born enemies, this doubt would never have come in his mind, whether to kill or not, to be or not to be. See, same principle. Then what happened? He took the chariot in front of his Guru, Dronacharya, and his grandfather, Bhishmacharya. And when he has to face, here are the enemies with whom you have to fight, he became nonplussed. Oh God, I had to kill my Guru, I had to kill my grandfather. Killing is not a problem, battle is not a problem, death is not a problem, grandfather is not a problem, Guru is not a problem. Problem is my grandfather and my Guru. If it is your grandfather and your Guru, no problem. See, friends. And when he thus became nonplussed, he started talking intellectually. See, there are two types of people, intelligent and intellectuals. Intelligent people are never miserable, and intellectuals are intelligently miserable. They justify. Under this condition, anybody can be miserable, and that is me. See, friends, a wise person is never miserable, and otherwise person justifies. Under this condition, anybody can be miserable. When we justify our being miserable, we don't want to come out of it. See? Like, one lady in Bombay, after my lecture was over, be happy, she got so fed up. After the lecture, she came, what is there for you to say be happy all the time? You are teasing us. What happened? How did I tease you? Get married and show, be happy. Means what? Getting married is a license to be miserable. Tathastu, may you continue like that. Never justify being miserable in life. See, friends. And it is here Arjuna starts acting intellectual. And what is an intellectual approach? An intellectual person, I am not talking about intelligent person. An intellectual, otherwise person Who is an intellectual? He who thinks he is intelligent. Is intellectual. So this intellectual person, what he does, exactly the same thing Arjuna did. First, take a decision and then start thinking. See? This is what all the lawyers, advocates, attorneys, pleaders, they do, is it not? Suppose I have killed somebody. This is just an example. I have not killed even a mosquito. Suppose I have killed somebody. And Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he is my lawyer. So I will go and tell him, sir, this is what has happened. I have killed so and so. So you have to save me. He said, very good. You only told. So I will put you to behind bars. I have not employed him for that purpose. Although I have killed somebody, he has to protect me. So what he will do? First he will take decision. My client is innocent. And then he will start thinking how it can be proved that he is innocent. This is the approach of all the intellectuals. They take decision and then work on. The wise people first think and then take the decision. See the basic approach to life. So when he has taken the decision, Etanna hantumichami gnatopi madhusudana. Hey Madhusudana, O Lord, I do not want to kill them even if they all kill me together. Once he has taken decision, naturally he has to justify. Nobody will contradict his own decision through logic after having taken it. See? Very few people can accept their own decision to be wrong and change. Very few. So he decided not to fight the war, and thereafter he started justifying. And friends, whenever an intellectual justifies, he quotes the scriptures like a devil quoting the scriptures. See? He starts quoting the scriptures left and right. This has happened, this is said according to our religion, according to philosophy, according to the tradition. 101 logic he has put together, and finally he concluded, therefore I shall not fight this war. When all this was said, Bhagavan Krishna has to simply listen to him, because he can't leave the horses and go. So he was just smiling. Did not say a word. Wise people never react with a frown on the face. Otherwise, never know how to smile. Their face is always as if they have consumed a handful of caterpillars. Imagine if somebody takes handful of caterpillar. What will be the expression on the face? Oh, very tasty, like a chocolate. See? There are two very peculiar things. Those who laugh, they don't think. Those who think, they never laugh. These two things are contrary to each other. So, when Arjuna was thus talking, Bhagavan kept quiet, and another way an otherwise person functions. He wants somebody to support his decisions. Because they are not confident of their own decisions. There was a husband, wife, in the morning, husband was going to take bath with a towel around him. That very time the daughter came, morning 7 o'clock. They were staying in the same neighborhood. Married daughter came. And she told, Mommy. The father said, oh God, right in the morning, this daughter and the mother, they are nothing but to cry. Can't you celebrate the life? All the time crying. What happened? Early morning crying. Daddy, my husband is every time threatening me. I will take sannyas and I will go to Himalayas. I will take sannyas and I am going to Himalayas. And therefore I am afraid he should not go. The father said, look here, those who say they will take sannyas, they never take. Don't worry. He is only threatening you. Then, how the sannyas is taken? The wife will never agree with the husband. If she agrees, she is not a wife. Something wrong somewhere. Because God has created this world for fun. He has not created this world for suffering. Those who have clear fundamentals of life. Yesterday I was talking to my Zen master. Colin, her husband, he is Zen master for me. I really love him. So I was talking to him. Zen master, if the fundamentals of life are clear, life is fun. If the fundamentals of life are not clear, life is mental. We have to have the fundamentals clear. See? So when our fundamentals are clear, life is a great fun. So that man said, those who threaten, I'll take sannyas, they never take, don't worry. Wife said, then how the sannyas is taken? Wife has to argue always. So he was with the towel, he said like this, and he walked out of the house. Never came back. He became a sannyasi. See, friends, those who have got doubt about their own decisions, about their own actions, they want support and vote from others. Therefore, there are two words, votee and devotee. A devotee is the one who doesn't care for the votes of the people. He is dedicated to the Lord. What others will say, who cares? If you are convinced of what you are doing, go ahead. See? So when Arjuna thus was complaining, Bhagavan keeping quiet. And then when he asked for his advice, the first thing that Bhagavan Krishna, the wise man, did, he defined. And he is, in Bhagavad Gita there are 108 jokes. If you cannot find out jokes in Bhagavad Gita, you must hang yourself. Bhagavad Gita is not told by somebody who was frustrated. See, one person once asked me this question. Swami, you are all the time glorifying Bhagavan Krishna, Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan. What Bhagavan? He has married 16,108 wives. How can he be Bhagavan? How can he be God? Bhagavan means God. How can he be God? I said, are you married? He said, so what? I said, are you married? Tell me. He said, yes. Can you keep that one wife happy? You are touching my sentiments. Okay. Bhagavan Krishna got married to 16,108 wives. And yet, all of them were happy. Therefore, he has to be God. Friends, that Bhagavan Krishna first defines Arjuna. And a beautiful, subtle joke. He says, Ashochananvashocastvam pradnyavadamscha bhashase. Arjun, you are talking like a wise man. Means what? You are otherwise. Subtle joke, There is one anchor from your UK. He is very famous, I don't know the name. He was with me for 1 week. And he particularly conducts the shows for the children, Very nice, handsome young man. And he was with me in one camp in Rishikesh. So after the camp was over, for about 5-7 days we were together. And then Rupal was with me and she told, Swamiji, do you know this man? I said, I don't know. He is the number 1 anchor in UK. So I said, okay, I'll take your picture with you. So he told me, he said, Swamiji, I have no comments. Only one thing I'll tell you. What is that? American jokes are dull. They are very gross. Your Indian jokes are like Britishers, very subtle and very beautiful. I said, should I take it as a compliment or a jealousy? See? Gatasuna gatasuscha nanushocanti panditaha. You are talking like a wise man, but behaving like a fool. And then he tells him that the wisdom expresses in our life as fearlessness, cheerfulness, and you are at peace with yourself. See? Nanu shochanti panditaha. We are constantly carrying the load of grief. One day I was coming from home to Washington airport to come to London. So my friend, he said, Swamiji, we had a very nice time. I just was wondering, how come God is all bliss, all happiness, and we are not? We are also His creation. We should have been happy. Why we are not happy as He is happy? I said, He is happy only one reason. He never tries to make others happy. And our whole life is try to make others happy. Where God failed, you cannot succeed. We are struggling to make others happy. Don't. You be happy. That's all. In the presence of a happy person, we also get the contagion. And we also start gliding into that effortless happiness. See, friends. Therefore, when we talk about wise and otherwise that we are, the first step that happens in our life is we decide something first and then start thinking. No. Like meditation. Meditation is the biggest fad in the world today. And everybody wants to do meditation. We have got 3 sessions, isn't it? So I will confuse you sufficiently next 3 days so that you will stop doing meditation and be happy. See? Once I was going somewhere, one young man came, said, Swamiji, do you deal in meditation? I said, yes, wholesale. Dealing in meditation. Can you just tell me how to do meditation? I said, take a pot, put water in that, let it boil, and then jump into it. You are in meditation. Boiling meditation. Meditation is not an act. It is an experience. We live in meditation and then act in meditation. We don't do to do meditation. No, it is not an action. See, friends. But this basic understanding goes wrong, and then for us, what is meditation? Meditation is a silent suffering. Many places, people go and when they have got meditation classes, they switch off all the lights. So, in my classes, all the lights are on. So one person asked me, Swamiji, I went to meditation camp to such and such place, and they were putting off all the lights. Why you are keeping it on? I said, no, I don't think meditation is an act which should be done in darkness. If it is a theft, you should do in darkness. If it is killing somebody, you should do in darkness. Meditation is not something bad that you should do in darkness. Then why those people tell us like that? I said, you ask them, don't ask me. No, you please tell. I said, I can only imagine. My imagination is horrible. I can imagine. How? Because when there is a darkness, both the student and the teacher, they go to sleep, and afterward both of them are awakened. And it was a silent suffering. Nobody knew what happened. Meditation is not that, friends. We live in meditation 24/7 and then act in this world. We do not do meditation and frustrate ourselves, no. And it is only on the basis of this, the spiritual growth according to this approach to life is like an oak tree. It grows very slow. And this growth is such that we will not recognize. Others around us, they will start recognizing. You must have seen in your own life, When a girl is small, she doesn't know anything. When slowly she starts growing, changes start coming in her body, in her psyche, in her physiology, and parents and elders at home, they start telling, now she is grown up, therefore she is behaving like that. The child doesn't know. Exactly the same way, spiritual unfoldment starts happening. There is no hurry. It is something like this bud. So beautiful it is. If we want to see the complete unfoldment of the bud into a fragrant, full bloom flower, we have to give the bud its own time. But I am in a hurry, man. So I start opening the petals with my terrible nails and destroy the bud, which is forcibly opened. It can never bring out the fragrance and the beauty hidden. Exactly the same way, let spiritual unfoldment happen. See? And it is here we have to grow wise with every experience. See, one example I'll give you. We all have one day or the other touched fire when we were children, either a candle or something, and we burnt our finger. And we learned from our experience, fire burns. Because we learned from our experience, we do not hate or love the fire. Because we have learned. And what we have learned, fire burns. Thereafter, we continue to come in contact with the fire, with this wisdom. Fire burns, therefore we decide how to come in contact with the fire so that the burning ability of the fire is to our benefit. Exactly the same way. Instead of reacting with the world, if we learn from the experiences of our life, we will start growing wise with every additional experience. See, there is a character in our scriptures, you must have heard the name, Dattatreya Bhagavan, who has got 3 heads and a cow behind and 4 dogs and all that. Now this Bhagavan Dattatreya, he was once, lying in a disguise on the Ganges banks. One king belonging to Bhagavan Krishna's dynasty, he asked him, hey, you have nothing, you are just lying down here, but I can feel and experience the bliss that you are in. You have no wife, you have no children, you have no kingdom, you have no protection, you have no wealth, you have no nothing. And yet, how come you are so happy? He says, therefore I am happy. See the difference? Our happiness depends on things and beings around. Dependent happiness is addiction. The real happiness is freedom. See? If you are happy because of your wife, what is your contribution? 0. If you are happy in spite of your wife, hey, then you are a genius. See, friends. So, when this king asked this great master, how come you are so happy? And where from you learned? Who is your guru? So, this great master tells, I don't have one guru. Poverty in having a guru. Only one guru. Daridri. See. I have got 24 gurus. And he enumerates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24. And he tells, from him I learned this. From him I learned this. From him I learned this. Means what? Guru is not anywhere outside. Guru is your ability to learn from your experiences in life. That is the Guru. Because when you are with the Guru, what is the process? Guru may teach, but if you refuse to learn what he can do, it is something like we take the horse to the waters, but you can't compel the horse to drink the waters. Therefore, Guru is our ability and our readiness to learn from every experience of our life. See, friends, with this attitude, when we start living our life, we have taken a right step in the right direction to grow spiritually. Spiritual growth is not spatio-temporal growth. It is not a growth in time. It is not a growth in space. It is a growth in wisdom. See? And wisdom can happen only. The process of learning is never stopped. You know the science of old people? One of the signs of the old people is they have answers to all the questions, but nobody asks them a single question. Then he is old or she is old. And why they have answers to all the questions? Because they know everything. Mr. Know All. See, this word I learned from one person. He was fed up of his father. So I said, hey, how is dad? Oh, Mr. Know-all. I don't know how is he. I said, what is this Mr. Know-all? He said, Swamiji, he knows everything in this world and therefore he is knowingly miserable. See? Therefore, we have to take the first step in life that we learn from every experience of life. Then from the otherwise, we are entering the area of the wise. Now take one by one example. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is one mantra comes. This mantra I like the most. There it is said, Parikshalokan karmachidan brahmanaha nirvedamayat na asti akrutaha krutena tadvijnanatham gurumeva vigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. The mantra says, Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat. Look back in your own life and re-examine, re-evaluate exactly what is achieved till date. Look back. We will come to know when we were not in this world, there was nothing lacking. When we will not be in this world, there will be no lacuna. Conclusion, our presence is most uncalled for. And we think, without me, how the world will move. See, friends, there was a bullock cart carrying a huge load of grass, and the man was, driving the bullock cart, and they had a dog, and the dog was walking below the bullock cart in the shade. It was a terrible hot sun. After walking maybe for about 2 or 3 hours, that bullock cart man took the bullocks and the cart aside and unyoked the bullocks and tied them to the tree and gave some water and something to eat. And the bullocks were tired because they were carrying the load, but the dog was more tired. Hey, how come you are so tired? You are so tired. Carry such a big bullock cart, then you will understand. He was just going under the shade of the bullock cart, but he had this notion because of him the whole bullock cart was moving. Our condition is no way better than that. See? There was one man in Rajasthan. He was riding a camel and there was a lot of material with him, like rice and other provisions and everything. And when he was riding this camel, he felt pity on that camel. Poor thing, carrying such a huge load. So he lifted one bag of rice or paddy and kept on his head, his own head. Hey, why you are doing like that? Come on, man. This animal is really getting tired of so much of weight. Therefore, I am lifting it and putting on my head. Where is he sitting? He is sitting on the same animal. See, we imagine because of us the world is moving. First wrong notion to be deleted to enter the kingdom of wisdom. See, one old man in Bombay asked me this question, a Sindhi gentleman. He said, Swamiji, last 3-4 months, I am terrified, very much disturbed. I said, never mind, take a cup of tea and sleep. He said, no, you please help me. So what should I help you? You guide me. I am having this funny thought that I am going to die, and when I die, what will happen to my wife, my children, my business, my property? About that I am worried. What should I do? I said, you go and ask them. Then what will happen? They will tell you, Papa, we are waiting, go. We have this notion, what will happen to this world when I go? We are the most unwanted furniture in this world. Recognize this and be happy. See? All those who are miserable, they have started thinking in this line that because of them the whole world is moving. See, friends. Therefore, entry into the kingdom of wisdom is when first step, parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat. Let us stop for a moment, pause, look behind, evaluate, and without biasness find out, are we on the right track? If not, have the courage, readiness, willingness, ability to change the track. See, let us not lead a mechanical life of dull-witted existence. I will tell you an example. Many years before, when I was told by my guru to chant Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhurvu Swaha Tassaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. He told, you chant 11 times, that is enough for you. Slowly you can increase. But if a disciple listens to a guru, he is not a disciple. So he has to do exactly wrong. Why only 11? He told me. What he thinks? I can't do. I can do. How many? 108 times. Now my capacity is not to lift even one glass of water. But when I see my father lifting a big bucket of water, I, as a stupid child, I also want to lift that. And then I fall into the same bucket. Exactly the same way. I thought, why not? I can do it. And then I started to take the mala in the hand. Om Bhurvu Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurvu Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam